and so bringing that full circle, whenever God talks about us being His children, right? And like you're getting that aspect of it, you're being a father, like you're loving him like a son, and like you get that whole thing. I definitely understand what it is like to be a son to a good father, and so I understand it from that aspect. I'm pretty jealous that you get to experience from the dad side, and loving somebody so much like that.
Soon, Dave. One day soon, man. It's the greatest love ever. Like you never know how much you can love someone, and my daughter, like my firstborn, man.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for her, I don't know where I would be.
Really.
Like a God honest truth. If it wasn't for Juju, I really don't know what I would be into, what I would be doing, how I would act. Because when she came, she changed my whole life. The way I thought about things, the way I moved, through everything, and everything that she went through made me look at life completely different.
Like,
you know what I mean? Because
like less selfish. Like, hey, I gotta look out for this one. I gotta
selfish.
Take care of this one.
Paying more attention to everything, like cause and effect. Paying more attention to things that I do. Not only if I do it before I do it. If I do this, this is the effect.
Right.
How would this effect mess up everything that's going on right now? So I would think a lot different, and just the fact that you wouldn't want to take yourself away from somebody that you love so much.
That makes sense.
So much, and so like she really changed my life, and her story is a whole nother episode. And it brought me closer to God, because my relationship with God always been on a off and on. Grandma brought me up in church my whole life, but I didn't really. I didn't. A lot of times you got to see stuff for yourself in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought church was insane. I didn't get saved till I was like 21, almost 22.
All day in church, and I'm not understanding. And I just remember a little kid looking up to these church people like, I can never be like them. They're perfect. These are perfect church people. God loves these people, not me.
Right.
And as I got older, I realized these people ain't perfect.
Oh, yeah. I even went so far as to hating God. I thought he was. At first I didn't think he exists, and then I started blaming him because there was a couple of significant people in my life that died, who loved God, were all out for God, and like lived it and did it, and for nobody else but God, and they died, and I was like, see, that's why you don't do that. I was like, because he don't love his people, he don't take care of his people, and it took a very simple man to explain it to me very simply, like what God's love actually was, and that's how changed forever. Death,
man. I lost my mom. Like, you never really understand life until you lose people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, you could go through some things, but I think the toughest thing for me going through is losing someone that I love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Absolutely. It's like you hurt once it happened, and once you, even though you never get over it, but once you do kind of manage with life, you mad that you managing without them. So it's like it's just like, even now, like thinking about my sister, you know what I mean? Like I look at pictures and my son or my daughter, and I'm looking at them like, man, I know my sister would love them to death.
Yeah,
and it's just like, man, these missed moments, these missed opportunities. You know what I mean? I think about those a lot, like, and it makes you say you have to take care of now.
Right.
You have to take care of you. Yeah. Like, I know my sister, my mom, my close friends, that I've lost. How would they look at what I'm doing now? Yeah. What would they say about now? My sister always told me, do your music. Do your music.
She was smart.
Do your music.
Sean, do your music.
Always, she would do your music and stop looking crazy. Fix yourself up. Oh, that's always what Mia would tell me. I was dealing with my child's mother at the time, and just at a low point in my life. Always, why are you not doing your music? Why are you looking like, what's going on? Every time I saw her, she would always tell me that. And I think about little stuff like that now. And as we talking, I think it's good because we talk about this stuff, and not only we talking about it, we thinking. Right. So I'm hoping as we talking about it, the people that's listening, thinking about great areas in their life that say, okay, this is what we can do better, because nobody's perfect.
No.
Nobody's perfect, and this podcast isn't to try to come off like we big time perfect people. No,
because I am not.
Ordinary guy, I drive a forklift, ladies and gentlemen.
I lift tile all day. Yeah, I get on a forklift every
so
so often.
we just wanted as real as possible, and to be able to try to connect with as most people as we can, to just talk about everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Everyday problems, everyday success, everyday everything. You know what I mean? And just because like I said, we talked about earlier, and I remember that podcast, that TD Jakes. I still got it on my phone. Just that drive to work. So that's what we want to do. We want to put good drive to work podcast together.
Yeah, there we go.
You know what I mean? Did I say that right? Good.
Yeah, Drive to Work podcast.
Drive to Work podcast.
Yeah.
That's a great name. Drive to Work podcast for people that's listening. Just take the time out to listen. And wow, what a show, man!
Heck yeah.
What a show! I feel like we could keep going.
Probably.
You know, maybe we need to put together a series.
Yeah, there we go.
For this week, we got that session Thursday, so but we need to do more.
Heck yeah, man.
I definitely want to do more. This is life.
Yeah, man. I like learning about you.
Yeah, we did. I didn't know that your parents were still together. I thought they was here. I didn't know they was in Detroit.
No, it's just me and Steve that are down here. My brother. Shout out to Steve.
Shout out to Steve.
Come around more often, Steve.
Yeah. Halo. Teach me some Halo. I don't know how to play Halo.
That guy's a genius at that Halo stuff, man. It's insane.
So we're going to do a shameless plug. I'm going to let Dave give him some plugs. People out there that's listening. The name of the podcast is Life, Music, and Everything Else. Get on iTunes, subscribe. Every time I upload an episode, it'll be on your iTunes podcast list. Easy, it's free, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just get on Life, Music, and Everything Else. That's the name of the podcast. Subscribe, and we're going to be bringing you shows every week. That's the plan. God giving me strength. That's the plan. There's no excuse. If I'm not bringing you a show, somebody tag me on Facebook or text my phone and say, stop being lazy, because that's all it is. We get done with the laziness. We coming into a new year. God is blessing us every moment that we breathe in and seeing our family. So let's push it. Let's go hard for what it is that we want to do in our life. You know.
Amen.
Say goodbye to the people, Dave.
Goodbye, people. I love you. Don't forget, God loves you, and y'all have a safe trip. We'll see you next week.
There you go. God bless.